Right now on Denver 7 News at 5 o'clock, more eye-popping prices at the pump. Gas is actually closing in on $6 a gallon in Aspen. This morning we're going 360 in-depth on the latest steps to lower gas prices right now and what you can do to make your money go further.
Calling out Congress, President Biden blasts lawmakers in the wake of another mass shooting in America.
After Columbine, after Sandy Hook, after Charleston, after Orlando, after Las Vegas, after Parkland, nothing has been done.
A closer look at what is being done on Capitol Hill, and we learn more about the victims of an Oklahoma Medical Center shooting.
And it was a battle at the Bee. The Scripps National Spelling Bee came to a thrilling end with a Colorado student in a first ever spell-off.
Gaidiang.
Gaydiang.
Whoa. We are celebrating Vikram Raju's impressive run at the National Spelling Bee this morning. We are happy for him. We are heartbroken for him.
Yes.
All the emotions coming out of the spelling bee.
Runner up, that's amazing.
It is.
And he has another year of eligibility.
Incredible. Happy Friday to you.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady, and we're getting a pretty nice look at the forecast for this Friday. Katie, warming up.
Yeah, good morning, you guys. Happy Friday. It's really quiet right now here across the state. Mostly clear skies. We'll see sunshine through the morning hours and then increasing cloud coverage, and we are tracking the chance for some strong storm activity later on this afternoon, especially east of the I-25 corridor. Outside, though, this morning, all is dry. We're in the high 40s, low 50s from downtown up through Greeley, down into Colorado Springs, and up into the mountains. Not as cold as what we've started off the past couple of mornings with 30s and 40s currently. We'll hover in the low 50s until 7 a.m. here in Denver. By 10, we'll be at 65 degrees. Daytime highs will be in the high 70s. Now, we do have the risk of seeing some severe weather, mainly east of the Denver metro area from Lyman out through Sterling. Here's what it looks like on Futurecast, mainly for the dinner time hours through about 6 o'clock. There are those storms forming. A slight chance here in town of picking up a storm or two, but most of the activity will be east.
And right now we have this building fire downtown. More details coming up in just a minute. Let me show you where we're talking about across downtown Denver right now. So here are all the tall buildings. So just on the north side, just a few blocks east of Coors Field, right basically where Broadway, Park Avenue West, and Arapahoe all come together, not too far from the rescue mission. That's where we're talking about. Take a look from EarthCam right now, and you can still see the smoke coming up from that building. So we do have some street closures in that area of downtown Denver. Take a look at the drive right there at I-25 and 20th. Can't see the smoke from this vantage point. You can see some flashing lights on the northbound side of I-25, but not seeing any slowing right now. You can see the drive times around town are pretty normal anywhere you want to go, including 270, I-70. The drive tour from the airport looks good. Security wait time, though, has been in that 20 to 30-minute range, depending on which security line you're getting in. But the highways and the major roads look okay.
Thank you, Jason. We do want to get to that breaking news here first at 5 and give you a ground level look at the effort that firefighters have made on this building fire that several crews have been working on for a while now, and the amount of smoke has gone down significantly. But if you're waking up in the ballpark area, you might see smoke around you. This is what it's coming from. This is on Arapahoe Street near Park Avenue. Broadway comes in there as well, kind of an intersection of 3 streets. Again, near the ballpark, and the sign on the building, as we see it, firefighters attacking it from above. The sign on the building is for Tony Capra Plumbing and Heating, which we are working to learn if it still occupies that building or if it was vacant. But right next door is also Great Divide Brewing Company on Arapahoe. So we have our eyes on this one. And again, as Jason mentioned, there are some road closures in the area, but we will keep you updated as we learn more.
Well, this is not what you want to see as you fill up your gas tank for the weekend. Overnight, the average price for a gallon in Colorado just went up 5 more cents. That's 5 cents just from yesterday. It's up a full 25 cents from last Friday. So this morning, we're taking a 360 in-depth look at the rising cost of gas.
Yeah, there have been a lot of new steps to help lower the cost, including how the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC, plans to change oil output. Also, President Biden is expected to travel overseas to ask for help.
Also, experts are issuing a new warning about how severe of an energy crisis we could be heading towards, and some advice on how to stretch your gas dollars. First, OPEC has agreed to increase oil output in July and August. It will increase production by 648,000 barrels per day. The group is slowly returning to release nearly 10 million barrels per day. It rolled back production back in April of 2020.
President Biden will head to Saudi Arabia later this month as part of an international trip for NATO. Much of that meeting will be trying to convince the country to release more oil to the market to help with gas prices. President Biden has not engaged directly with the Crown Prince since taking office.
Some energy experts worry we could be headed toward a worse energy crisis than we saw in the 1970s and 80s. Back then, people at times were waiting hours in line to fill up their gas tanks. While we produce much more oil nowadays, demand is skyrocketing. For as high as prices are in the metro, though, be glad you don't live in Aspen right now. Someone sent us this video of regular going for $5.99, premium $6.87 a gallon. So how can you make your gas last a little longer? Well, Gas Buddy says it starts with a tune-up. Addressing sensors that control your fuel and emissions can increase mileage by 4%. Also reduce your drag on the road. Proper tire inflation can add 3%. And consider how fast you drive. Reducing fast acceleration and hard braking can help you increase your mileage by 33%. You could also consider getting someone else to help chip in for gas or ditch the car altogether. There are ways you can search for alternative ways to get around on mywaytogo.org.
You enter your start location and your end destination, you'll see a list of results like transit, bike, walking, but there will also be a ride matching component. You can see how many other carpoolers are available in your area who have capacity in their car and who have space to have somebody join them for a drive.
Yeah, make a new friend and drive together. With so much transit and bike access in the city, you may not need a car as often as you think.
Investigators in Oklahoma say the man who shot and killed 4 people at a medical center was targeting a doctor he blamed for the pain he was in after recent back surgery. Investigators say they found a letter from the shooter who made it clear he intended to kill Dr. Preston Phillips and anyone that got in his way. Another physician, a receptionist, and a patient were also killed. Investigators say he bought the rifle and pistol he used the same day of the attack. There are more funeral services today in Uvalde, Texas. 10-year-old Jace Luavanos and 10-year-old Jayla Silguero and 9-year-old Jacqueline Cazares will all be laid to rest. And now a Texas state senator says the commander overseeing police during the shooting was not informed of the panicked 911 calls coming from students who were trapped inside that classroom. Senator Roland Gutierrez is calling it a system failure, and he's now demanding to know who was receiving these calls. Gutierrez wants Texas Governor Greg Abbott to call a special legislative session in response to the shooting. President Biden is also again calling on Congress to take action against gun violence. In an evening address to the country, he called again for a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines.
And Denver 7's Jessica Crawford is here with some context. Jessica, you took a closer look at what lawmakers on Capitol Hill can realistically accomplish.
Yes, we are seeing kind of a contrast there. President Biden did ask for some gun control measures that may not be popular with the GOP, but there is some bipartisan movement. Some senators are trying to get something off the ground as the president pleaded for some progress last night.
It's time for each of us to do our part. It's time to act for the children we've lost, for the children we can save, for the nation we love. Let's hear the call and the cry. Let's meet the moment. Let us finally do something.
The president's words overnight as he called for specific actions to help stop mass shootings. This, along with a ban on assault-style weapons and high-capacity magazines. He pushed for expanded background checks and red flag laws. He also wants to raise the age for assault weapons purchases from 18 to 21. Overnight, the House Judiciary Committee did advance a package of gun violence prevention measures. That package, called the Protecting Our Kids Act, does not include a ban on assault weapons, but it would raise the purchase price to $21. Meanwhile, a bipartisan group of senators have been working together on their own gun reform proposal. And Senator Mitch McConnell says it'll target mental illness and school safety.
The Buffalo and Uvalde shootings underscore a problem we've seen over and over again over the last 30 years. Mental illness and school safety are what we need to target.
Senator McConnell says he hopes to present that bipartisan idea next week, and he has hopes that it could actually pass the Senate. I'm Jessica Crawford, Denver 7.
Thank you, Jessica. Mass shootings, of course, affect so many more people than just those closest to the event. They leave us with a collective sense of despair and trauma. A Colorado group is addressing the feelings so many of us are experiencing.
We're all survivors right now of all of this stuff going on. You might not have been there, but you're seeing the news, you're hearing these things, and you might be one of the people who's not desensitized to it.
Megan Dearman and Della Curry are relaunching a concept that created right before the COVID lockdowns. It's a nonprofit called the Colorado Resilient Life Center. They hope to offer care and healing programs, classes, and counseling. It would all be free of charge with a focus on mental health.
Well, this morning we have a huge congratulations to 12-year-old Vikram Raju of Aurora.
Now, he finished second in the Scripps National Spelling Bee, and he's part of history now because for the first time in the 94 years of the Spelling Bee, it ended in a rapid spell off. Each finalist had 90 seconds to spell as many words correctly as they could. In the end, Harini Logan from Texas spelled 21 words correctly. Vikram spelled 15. An absolutely amazing achievement.
He'll be back.
Oh yeah, he's going to be back. Yeah. Well, some great news for teens looking to make money this summer. Why now is the perfect time for young workers to enter the job market.
Also, when is the last time you counted how many streaming services you have out there? Time to take stock of what you're watching and what you're not. Why now is a great time to trim it down.